Don't let those newsletters pile up. Just subscribe to the video newsletter you're watching right here, keeping you covered on everything from Klarna's AI doing the work of 700 employees, Perplexity AI's billion-dollar valuation, and the mother of all data breaches that might include your information. If you're new here, my name is Nate, and I'm keeping you informed on the biggest news in tech. If that's helpful to you, it does help me out if you hit that subscribe button on this channel, as well as be aware I have a main channel called Crazy Ones Tech News, and I have a newsletter. The newsletter is called Crazy Media Newsletter. You can find all that information in the description below. Well, the big headlines, and this is your Crazy 5, so I got to keep it in 5 minutes or less. That's the goal, and yesterday I went to 5 minutes and 30 seconds, and I was very disappointed in myself. So Klarna AI does the work of 700 full-time employees. In a recent blog, the Swedish fintech company boasted their customer service chatbot, which handled 2.3 million conversations in the last month. That is equivalent for their company to the equivalent of 700 full-time employees. So for all those folks out there that are really nervous about AI taking your job, this is not the article for you. Don't look at it because it's going to make you feel worse. The average time to resolution dropped from 11 minutes when it was done by humans down to 2 minutes to resolution. So definitely a point for the AI race on this one, and a negative point for the 700 workers. The M3 MacBook Air launch officially happened. It sort of confused me how it all went down, and I follow all the rumors and read the articles, but somehow it just happened under my nose in the end. So they launched an M3 MacBook Air 13-inch and 15-inch model. They will have support for 2 external displays, which I think is actually super, super nice. I use my M2 MacBook Air all the time, and unfortunately, I have had situations where I've needed to connect it to multiple desktops and have had to get creative with the solutions. So that is really exciting. And the early performance indicators, it's early. I'm admitting it's early, but the early performance indicators are pretty fantastic. Perplexity AI, if you've ever used Perplexity, it's pretty fantastic, is finalizing a new funding deal that would hit a $1 billion valuation. Wowza, that says a lot about what the venture capitalists are thinking about the AI space right now, but it also says a lot about what Perplexity has built. So congratulations and hats off to Perplexity. I love the app. It's fantastic. If you've ever used it before, never used it, it's kind of like talking to a large language model plus Google search kind of thing. But what they do is they just give you a straight up answer. Here's the answer to your question. And then they put a bunch of sources below, which is really nice. From an educator perspective, that's really valuable for me working with students. Then Google Maps. The other story. This is an interesting one. Actually, we have 2 more stories. Google Maps is adding a little entrance icon to buildings. They're working on it right now. It's in testing, but I love this idea for a lot of reasons. For one, knowing where the entrance is to a building when you're going to places you've never been to before, if you're out of town, especially traveling, is super, that would be really beneficial, but especially in downtown areas. If you know, I'm sure you've experienced this, when you're driving downtown, you're trying to find a parking spot and you're looking parking garages and parking lots, and you're trying to figure out where you're going to go. And then you finally find a spot that you think is about right. And then you realize, oh, I'm thinking downtown Denver right now. I'm on the other side of that building. Or man, like downtown Chicago, the other side of that building is like a 10-minute walk. It's wild, right? So it makes a lot of sense to know where the entrance to the building you're trying to go to is. And I love that idea. It's going to be like a little white icon. And I think that's just brilliant. Good job, Google Maps. Final piece of news, and I've got 45 seconds to do it. My goodness, oh my goodness. Okay, a massive data breach probably includes data about us. Yikes. The quote, mother of all breaches, according to cybernews.com, was discovered by researcher Bob Diachenko at securitydiscovery.com. News this morning contains a massive collection of user logins and personally identifiable information to the tune of 12 terabytes of data. Not 12 terabytes of YouTube videos, not 12 terabytes of sports media coverage, 12 terabytes of usernames, user logins, personal identifiable information. We're talking about numbers and letters and symbols. That's scary. That's a lot. It's actually 26 billion personal records. 26 billion personal records. So, it's after 5 minutes. I guess update your passwords. And you know what we do on this channel? Think different. Stay crazy.